Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Qamarina binti Adam. My matric number is A18A0611. So today I as a representative for group 7 to present the assignment about Fasola's cases. Okay, there is four content in the assignment, which is first is issue, second is law and cases, third is application, and fourth is the last one is conclusion. Okay, for the issue, first is the ban that been executed on the product of Huawei by the Prime Minister of Malaysia has caused the endorsement contract that was signed by Fasola become void. All transactions with Huawei are being terminated. Fasola is affected by the change of policy of the government. Second, all sums paid or payable to any party in pursuance of the contract before the time when the parties were so discharged shall, in the case of sums so paid, be recovered from him or cease to be payable. Third is, if the party to whom the sums were so paid or payable incurred expenses before the time of discharge, the court may, if it consider it just, allow him to retain or recover the whole or any part of the sum, so paid or payable. Okay, the last one is any party to the contract who has obtained a valuable benefit before the time of discharge. There shall be recoverable from him by the other party such sum as the court considers just. Okay, next is law. First, a contract simply put can be frustrated and is frustrated when there is a change in the circumstance which renders a contract legally or physically of performance. The House of Lords in Joseph Constantine Steamship Line Ltd versus Imperial Smelting Company Ltd, 1942, categorically stated that the doctrine is only special case of the discharge of contract by an impossibility of performance arising after the contract was made. Second, from the wording of section 57 Canon 2, it is clear that there are two instances of frustration when a contract to do an act becomes impossible or unlawful. In this case, Telco Z has signed an agreement with one of its prominent figures, Fasola. In the endorsement, Fasola will be company spokesperson for the next 3 years from January 2019 to December 2021. However, since Malaysia has decided to ban the Huawei products, the Huawei product will not display or publish any latest feature in their product, which will cause loss towards the Huawei. Next is cases. The case can relate with Istakres Development Sdn Berhad versus Fatimah Muttalib and Ano in year 2000, 5 CLJ 379 case. Next is Davis Contraction Ltd versus Fareham UDC. Despite the statutory provision pertaining to the doctrine of frustration in the Contract Act Section 57 Canon 2. In Pacific Forest Industries Sdn Berhad and Ano versus Lin Wen Chi and Ano 2009 6 CLJ 430. In the Hong Kong case of Li Qingwing versus Zhuan Yijiang 2004. 1 HKLRD 754, it was argued by a tenant that his tenancy agreement was frustrated during the outbreak of SARS. Okay, for the application, the contract confirmation agreement between Fasola and Telco Z is void. The Malaysia Prime Minister has agreed to follow the ban as had been done by the United States because of the war occurred between China and United States. The confirmation contract between Fasola and Telco Z are affected by the change in government policy. Fasola can terminate the agreement because her image is damaging due to the ban occurred. Okay, next is the Fasola contract could not be continued in the future. This is because by virtue of section 557 Canon 2 of CA 1950, if frustration is proved, the contract becomes void. Consequently, both parties would be discharged from further performance of contract. When the contract is deemed frustrated, Section 15 Canon 2 of the Civil Law Act 1956 CLA 1956 provides the remedies, which is all sum paid before the parties were discharged of its contractual obligation shall be returned, whereas any sum payable will cease to be payable if the party to whom the sums were paid or payable has incurred expense before the parties were discharged of its contractual obligation. The court may, if it is considered just, allow that party to retain or recover the whole or any of the sum so paid or payable, and provided that the sum does not exceed the expense incurred. Okay, there is four cases that related to the Fasola. First is the case can relate with Istakres Development Sdn Bhd versus Fatimah Muttalib and Anno. Second is Davis Contractor Ltd versus Fareham UDC. Despite the statutory provision pertaining to the doctrine of frustration in the Contract Act Section 57, Canon 2, in Pacific Forest Industries Sdn Bhd and Anno versus Lin Wen Chi and Anno 2009 6 CLJ 430. And the last one in the Hong Kong case of Lee Ching Wing versus Zhuan Yijiang 2004. 1 HKLRD 754, it was argued by a tenant that his tenancy agreement was frustrated during the outbreak of SARS. Okay, for the conclusion, the ban has caused a number of Huawei products unable to sell to the people worldwide. Even though the ban was not from the telco Z or Fasola fault, the contract still become void. Thank you.